Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to the third race of the second season of the NNSCRA SRX Series. As we're here tonight for our first dirt track stop of the season, this is Knoxville Raceway. 2 races so far under our belts. 2 different drivers have gone to victory lane. Both drivers getting their first win of their SRX Series careers. Season opener at Stafford went to Jovan Anderson last week. The Five Flag Speedway checkered flag went to Levi McIntyre. Subsequently, he comes into this race still your overall points leader, but he's going to be starting pretty deep in the field for tonight's starting lineup. He did that as well, if I recall correctly, though, back in the first half of the Five Flags race, and with the field inverted, had good starting track position for the second half. But it'll be interesting to see how this race goes. This is not going to really look, I think, like your typical dirt track type of race. Watch these guys in practice, and while there is a lot of passing that should be going on, it's going to be not as typical visually looking as you would normally think. But should be interesting to see how drivers set themselves up for the second half of this race. Who wants to go for those most bonus points in the first half of this race, as point standings coming into today are still awfully close. Though Levi McIntyre did gap second place quite a bit last week with that victory. Let's take a look at the starting lineup here today at Knoxville Speedway, as it's going to be Austin LaPlante lining up on the pole position for this one. He comes into this race 10th in the point standings. He'll be alongside of our winner from the season opener at Stafford, Jovan Anderson. Anderson is 11 points back behind the points leader, 3rd in the overall standings. Nick Gunther will make up the inside of row 2. Nick Gunther is 7th in the point standings, coming to this one, 20 points back from the points lead, and then one half of the co-defending champions, Carson Gum. He's going to line up in 4th. Carson Gum is 2nd in the point standings. He is only 11 points behind Levi McIntyre. Ali Liera, she's going to be 5th on the starting grid. Ali comes to this race 5th in the point standings as well, actually in a tie for 5th place with Seth Cole. Dylan Young's going to be on the outside of row 3. Dylan Young comes into this race 8th in the current overall points. Jesse Turner had himself a great run last week at Five Flags. He's going to be rolling off 7th here today. He is 4th in the points coming to this one, 13 points out. He'll be alongside of Benjamin Miles on the outside of row 4. Benjamin Miles currently 11th of the 12 drivers in the point standings. Top 10 is going to be completed by your current points leader and last week's winner, Levi McIntyre, in 9th, and Michael Norman, the other half of the co-champions. He is going to be rolling off on the outside of row 5 in 10th. Michael Norman, so far in 2 races, has only accumulated 11 points. He is dead last, 12th out of the 12 drivers here this season. That team's really looking for a momentum shift here tonight. Final row, row 6, going to be Seth Cole on the inside line. Seth Cole is that driver, as I mentioned, tied for 5th in the point standings, right now being scored 6th in overall standings. And then Keith Batson will completing the rest of the field. Keith Batson coming to this race 9th in the point standings. He is 24 points behind the points leader. That is your starting lineup. Now let's go down track side for the command to fire up the engines here tonight.
Drivers, start your engines!
Take a look at our race info here this evening at this half-mile dirt track. 30 laps of racing in the first half. Field will get inverted, and then we will have the final 30 laps to finish out today's race. 60 laps in total. Here that we have an issue here. That's Dylan Young. Moving down to the inside line. He may be coming to pit lane for something untowards. So he is obviously not going to be in the hunt for the stage victory, as the rest of the field is going to get themselves lined up. Appears there might be another driver missing from the grid. As the green flag is out, let's roll at Knoxville. We'll update on who that other driver is that I don't believe rolled off of the grid there on the back straightaway. Liera for the lead on LaPlante. Contact made, 3 wide now is Jesse Turner. Turner led that lap, and they're still 3 wide further back. LaPlante kicked up out of the groove. Liera was stuck in the middle. She dropped back to 4th. Keith Batson now going for that spot. Seth Cole's up out of the groove, and oh, Michael Norman got into Jesse Turner for the race lead. Batson was able to find the grip, and he's going to go to the point. That second driver that did not roll off the grid, just now getting service, it appears, is our points leader, Levi McIntyre. So it looks like McIntyre and Young, they're not going to finish on the lead lap here, and they will more than likely be your front row for the second half of this race. Not certain what went on with both those drivers. Very rare that we see 2 drivers have mechanical problems in the early going, as Nick Gunther made his way by Jesse Turner moments ago to move up to 4th. He's under fire from Ali Liera, who's going to pass both Gunther and Jovan Anderson. So Ali goes from 5th to 3rd. There is now the lap machine of Levi McIntyre merging in with the race leaders as Batson, for the moment, enjoys about 4 car lengths back to LaPlante. Then it's the lap machine, and then Ali Liera in 3rd. Jovan Anderson got moved up out of the groove. Carson Gum completing the pass there. Benjamin Miles just got around Nick Gunther, so move Miles up to the 3rd spot. Gum will move to 4th. And now Michael Norman looking for 5th. Ooh, almost got into the back. I think he did get into the back of Nick Gunther as he'll complete that pass. Jovan Anderson there as well. And the caution's out as we've got a wreck. That is LaPlante, Ali Liera, and Keith Batson. Was that the 3 leaders? Nick Gunther's going to get a piece. I think that was all 3 of your race leaders that all were involved in that one. Caution waves for the first time tonight. The lead is going to go to, I believe, Benjamin Miles. And what in the world happened there? See if we can take a look at what exactly went down. This obviously had to have started with Keith Batson. He was the leader at the time. No, it was a hard battle between him and Austin LaPlante for the race lead. Off of turn 4 onto the straightaway, contact made. Batson gets turned to the inside wall, back up the track, and sweeps up both LaPlante and Liera with him. That's steel guardrails up there. I'll look at Nick Gunther trying to get on the brakes. And the brakes did not take with it being a dirt track. He slides up into the wall as well. Man. It's right on board with the green machine of LaPlante. Looked like LaPlante drifted up the track. It just could not get off of Batson. Watch the run. We're going to go all the way back here to turn 3 and watch the run LaPlante gets on. Pretty good hit there with the front end. You just heard that contact behind. That was Nick Gunther. So caution out for the first time tonight, and it involves the drivers that were running 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Benjamin Miles made his way through it safely, and so he is your race leader. Looks like we got 1 driver back in the garage area, and that's going to be Nick Gunther. So Gunther, with DNFing from this first stage, he will be starting shotgun on the field for the upcoming 2nd stage. This caution is not going to really help Dylan Young or Levi McIntyre get back on the lead lap. McIntyre, it appears, will actually be restarting ahead of race leader Benjamin Miles as he's stuck behind the pace car. So tough break there for Nick Gunther. 7th in the overall points. He will at least be able to take part in the backup car in stage 2 and try and accumulate points there. But because, as we said, if you DNF from the first stage, you start at the tail end of the field for the 2nd stage. So Miles the leader, Gum in 2nd, Norman 3rd, Jovan Anderson in 4th, and right now Jesse Turner completes the top 5. And it's Seth Cole in 6th, 7th is Ali Liera. Batson in 8th, and 9th place right now is LaPlante, and those are the 9 drivers on the lead lap. There you see McIntyre and Young on the inside line as lap machines, so apparently 12 was not allowed to stay up on that outside line, despite the fact he was ahead of the leader behind the pace car. And we'll get ready for the second half of the first half of this race, if you will. Green flag back in the air. Benjamin Miles not in a good spot here, and that is going to allow the first car to get to that inside line, Jovan Anderson, to try and go for the race lead. Jesse Turner also got down there. Stacked up 3 wide. Turner for the lead, drives it in deep. Carson Gum right there as well. 1st through 4th really stacked up. Seth Cole there. Ali Liera also still in the mix, so the contact she made with the outside wall not affecting her, obviously. Contact there. Look at Ali. Ali's going to go from 6th to 2nd in a matter of a couple of corners. And now puts the pressure on Jesse Turner. If you've got a car that can hook that inside line here at Knoxville, you are going to go to the front. Ali looking low on Turner, got to be careful. Makes the pass cleanly. Beautiful pass there as Ali Liera goes to the point now. Trying to pick up her first stage victory and her 3rd start here in the SRX series. Carson Gum, big run there on Turner for 2nd. Bringing Michael Norman along with him. Turner's going to drop from 2nd now back to 4th. Carson Gum now under fire from Michael Norman, the co-champs. Trying to reel in Ali Liera for the top position. Michael Norman back in the first half of last season, basically was his MO to go up there and win a lot of stages. That's why he had such a big points lead heading into the second half of the season. Didn't have a victory, but a lot of stage victories. And that was back when we had the different point system than we do now, where only the top 3 finishers in stage 1 got points payouts. Norman with a slip up there that allowed the Levi McIntyre lap machine to get around him. Right now, Ali Liera has about 10 car lengths before she has to worry about a battle for position. You can see the rear end damage on that pink car from when she was taken and swept up in that incident with Keith Batson and Austin LaPlante, but it has not affected her at all. Apparently, the back end of the car got the damage. The front end of the car, where the engine is housed, completely up to speed, and it shows. Jovan Anderson battling back. 2nd place he'll take from Michael Norman with 10 laps to go here in the first stage. Carson Gum, little side swipe there to Michael Norman as we're 3 wide for the 4th position. LaPlante will take the spot. Miles was in the middle of the 3 wide formation with Norman up top. Now a good 3-way battle for, caution's out. Yellow flag is out. This will not, I do not believe, end the stage under caution. And that is the last thing that Ali Liera wanted to see. Though she will have the lap car between herself and 2nd place, Jovan Anderson, because with it being less than 10 to go, it will be a single file restart. But what brought out the yellow? Might have been Seth Cole in the yellow car. Let's go back and see. Seth Cole and Dylan Young, the lap car. This was going into turn 3. Just pushed up. Got Dylan in the left rear quarter pail, slides up the racetrack and into the steel guardrail up there. Both cars, it looks like, ended up hitting with the back end, so they should be okay to continue. But looking at what's going on here in the first half of this race, I'm not 100% certain that, positioning yourself at the back to have good starting track position for stage 2, that's actually the play. A lot of passing going on right now. Another angle at the contact there, very light contact. Well, it sounds like light contact. Maybe it's not all that light of contact when you're hitting a steel guardrail. It looked like a little bit of a lazy slide there for both those drivers. And they are both going to be able to continue on. let's bring you up to speed here in setting the stage for the second and final 30 laps of this race, as we actually see how many laps we'll have left here. A bit of a shootout at the end of stage 1. Ali Liera leading. You got the lap machine of Levi McIntyre between her and second place Jovan Anderson. Carson Gum third. Austin LaPlante up to fourth. Benjamin Miles fifth. Sixth Michael Norman. Seventh Jesse Turner. Keith Batson eighth, and then Seth Cole in ninth. That's the last cars on the lead lap. Dylan Young still trapped a lap down after he had to come to pit road at the initial green flag. He's a lap down in 10th. Levi McIntyre is 3 laps down in 11th. And Nick Gunther, involved in the first caution of the night, is back in the garage area. He'll be bringing the backup car out for the upcoming stage 2. Now, Ali came into this race in a tie for 5th place with Seth Cole. 18 points back from Levi McIntyre. McIntyre, though he's lined up behind Ali, is currently 3 laps behind the pink machine, and so this could be a big opportunity for Ali to pick up some very valuable stage points. Right now, with Levi McIntyre running in 11th, if Ali's able to win this thing, then Ali would end up picking up 10 points alone here just in this stage. Jovan Anderson, running in second, I believe, would take the points lead. He's 11 points back, and he would gain, well, no, he would gain 9 points on Levi McIntyre, so he'd be 2 points back starting the second half of this race. That is provided he stays where he is. Carson Gum, he would be 3 points behind Levi McIntyre for the points lead, and that is again provided that Jovan Anderson finishes second, Carson Gum finishes third in the stage. But we're going to be going back green with 3 laps to go, so a lot can still happen between now and the green and white checker. Back underway here at Knoxville. McIntyre, lap machine, putting the pressure there on Ali Liera, could open up the door for somebody to try and take this stage victory, as he's going to drive it to the inside. Jovan Anderson, what does he do? He's going to go to the inside as well. Take the lead. Look at Benjamin Miles. Big run, 3 wide. He'll go to second. Michael Norman tried to get third from Carson Gum. Nothing doing. 1.5 to go here in the first stage. Miles to the inside of McIntyre trying to catch Jovan Anderson. 1 more lap around Knoxville, and Miles has a big run into turn 1. Benjamin Miles. He's going to shoot ahead to the race lead. Norman's going to move to second. Now does Norman have a shot at Miles here in 3 and 4? He's going to try it. Contact made. And Michael Norman's going to make it work. Michael Norman's going to win the first stage of the night. Anderson got second. Miles, who was leading when they came around to the proverbial white flag, he's going to have to settle for third. And Michael Norman, is he going back to the system that helped him to hold the points lead for a good portion of last year's schedule by getting stage victories? Maybe. Everyone's crossed the line. Take a look there at the stage points accumulated here in stage 1. Michael Norman with 12 points. 11 to Anderson, and 10 to Miles. So Anderson did hold on to second place, so he'll only be 2 points behind Levi McIntyre, who's only going to accumulate 2 points here for this stage. And now we get the field inverted, where it will be, I believe, McIntyre and Young are front row for the upcoming second stage of tonight's event here at Knoxville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this commercial break as we continue on the third race of the second season of the NNSCRA SRX Series. Welcome back to Knoxville Raceway. Preparing for the second stage, the final stage of tonight's event. All 12 drivers actually rolled off the grid this time, so no mechanical problems in the early going gear like we had back in the beginning of the first stage. Levi McIntyre, he was 3 laps down in 11th. Last car running, so he shares the front row for this final stage with Dylan Young. Jesse Turner Aliera in row 2 with Carson Gum and Seth Cole in row 3. Green flags out. Final 30 laps of the night here at Knoxville with the checkered flag on the line. Turner thought about taking the lead, but Carson Gum's going to drive it in deep on both McIntyre, and they're going to get together and into the wall. That will bring out a caution. Looks like Dylan Young may have also been collected up in something. Caution waves, and much like we had in the first caution of the day, Benjamin Miles is the one that sneaks through with the race lead. So I think we had 2 incidents right there. Carson Gum dive bombing Levi McIntyre for the lead. That did not work. And Dylan Young had something happen to him prior to that, it would appear. Now, this is where the big points payouts are, so obviously they're going to be a lot more aggressive here in the second half of the race than they were in the first half, where we saw 2 cautions, and Dylan Young actually never made contact with anybody. He just drove it in too high into turn 3, got up into the, and I'll put this in air quotes, the dirty stuff. There's no grip up there. There you see McIntyre and Gum recovering their race cars after their spin. Here's a look at it again. I thought this was going to actually be a pass for the lead that would work, but Carson just drove it in too deep. Drifted up almost a full groove from where he entered. McIntyre was running in the lane he wanted to run. Both drivers made pretty good contact with the outside wall, mostly for both of them with the rear end of their race cars, and we saw in the first half of this race that it doesn't necessarily mean that your day is over. Here with the front end, then you might have some issues, but here with the back end, it's not going to look all that pretty, but it's still going to be up to speed, should still be competitive. So 3rd caution overall of the night. First one here in the second stage, and Benjamin Miles is the one that is going to emerge with the race lead for the upcoming restart. Just an idea, like I said, I didn't really think tonight was going to be a race where you would strategize to finish towards the rear of the field for the first half and then get the good starting transition for the second half, because we saw a lot of passing take place there in the first 30 laps. Well, case in point, Michael Norman started 11th on the grid after winning the first stage, and look where he is. He's already up to 2nd place. That was in about 3 laps time. So yeah, definitely here tonight, I think the strategy for everybody was finish up at the front in stage 1, finish up in the front in stage 2. Don't even worry about how the field invert was going to come into play. Well, Benjamin Miles himself actually finished 3rd back in the first stage, and that would have had him rolling off 9th from the grid. So he went from 9th to 1st. Norman went from 11th to 2nd in the matter of 3 laps. Probably not going to be the case next week, though, that kind of strategy, as we'll be at the midway point of the season at Lucas Oil Raceway. Then we go to the second and final dirt track stop of the season at Eldora for race number 5. So a lot of good tracks still coming up here. Still a very early season here in the SRX Series. This pace car has turned the field over to Benjamin Miles through the restart zone, and we're back underway here at Knoxville, and immediately he'll go to turn 1 with a challenge from Michael Norman. Michael's going to make it work. Stage points that Michael Norman accumulated there back in stage 1 were huge. We mentioned Michael Norman 2 races in. Only 11 points accumulated overall here this season. He had 5 points after leaving the season opener at Stafford, and then he gained another 6 points last week. That is not good. Levi McIntyre, the points leader, back on the lead lap now. With the aid of that stage yellow coming out, all lap machines get put back on the lead lap. He is right now in the 5th position. Ooh, big contact back there. Nick Gunther in the backup car, getting used up by Carson Gum and Jesse Turner. Make that Keith Batson, rather, in the 3-wide situation. There's Miles back for a position on Gunther. Is up at the front. Michael Norman about 3-4 car lengths back. Well, make it now 5-6 car lengths back to Ali Liera. Jesse Turner's now up to 3rd. And a bit of a gap back to this battle for 4th place. Seth Cole top side, Levi McIntyre on the bottom. Levi and Carson Gum, after they made contact for the race lead the first couple laps of this second stage, they're now back up to the 4th and 6th positions. Carson trying to take 5th. Should get it down here into turn 3. Much cleaner pass than the one he attempted on Levi for the race lead. Gotta wonder if Carson gets up there to Levi McIntyre in a potential battle for 4th. Just how aggressive is Levi McIntyre going to get? Obviously can't be too thrilled that he got taken out from the race lead. Looking at lap times here, Michael Norman, Ali Liera. Norman at 18.197, Liera at 18.010. Fastest lap so far of this session for her. So she is closing in. Might be getting a little bit of draft off the back of the blue car of Norman. Norman trying to sweep here tonight at Knoxville. Pick up the stage victory and the overall victory. There are no bonus points for laps led, or for most laps led. Michael Norman trying to see if he can choose the defensive line. Oh, he may have messed up that corner because Ali Liera found something through 3 and 4, and she immediately is going to blow on by and lead that lap. So move Ali to the lead. Talked about the fact that so far here this season we've had 2 different race winners, and both drivers, Anderson and McIntyre, picking up their first career victories here in this series. Well, Ali Liera, newcomer to the series here in season 2, and so she would continue on that streak of 3 for 3. And you got 3-4 former race winners right behind. Well, actually, no, 3 of the 4 are race winners behind her. Jesse Turner, Seth Cole, and Carson Gum have all taken overall checkered flags. Michael Norman's actually still looking for his first overall win. He's got a number of stage victories last season, but he's never taken a race checkered flag yet this season or last season. Laps taken away, and Ali Liera, for the moment, enjoying about a second gap back to Jesse Turner. But Turner is closing. Turner is just a tick faster, it seems. Best battle on the track right now is potentially going to be for the 4th position. Seth Cole reeling in Carson Gum. Benjamin Miles right back there as well. If these guys get side by side, could be a 3-man fight for the 4th position. Nick Gunther was making some moves, but now he got kicked up out of the groove and loses every spot he just gained. McIntyre, Batson, and LaPlante all going by. Not going to be a good points day for Dylan Young. Had the mechanical problem in the early going of the last stage, and right now running 12th. Jovan Anderson trying to reel in Levi McIntyre. This is potentially a battle for the points lead heading into next week at Lucas Oil, as Anderson was only 2 points behind Levi McIntyre starting the second half of this race. Carson Gum works his way by Benjamin Miles. That is a pass for 5th. Turner can see Ali Liera probably right on board with the former winner. Listen to how they traverse their way around this dirt track. About throttle control. I think he might be losing touch with the race leader. Michael Norman appears to be the fastest of the 3 right here in the closing stages. And time is not on the side of Turner or Norman. This time by, when Ali Liera hits the start-finish line, it will be 1.5 laps to go here at Knoxville. Gap was 1.11. It's now 1.29. Turner is losing touch with Ali. Ali Liera came into this race 5th in the overall points. Nice start to the season. Mentioned again, too, Liera, Gunther, Anderson, all making their debuts in the SRX Series. It doesn't mean they're rookies in terms of experience. Long NR 2003 careers. Just the first time they've stepped into an SRX car here under the NNSCRA banner, that's all. 3 laps left here as the gap did close down that time, but right now Jesse Turner would have to reel in Ali Liera by half a second each lap, and that does not happen usually here at a dirt track unless Liera makes a big mistake and loses a ton of momentum. 2 to go. What's the gap now? 1.45. That time, 0.4 of a second gained by Liera, who just ran her fastest lap of this entire session, a 17.914. That is a money lap. That could be a seal the deal lap, as this time by, it is the white flag displayed for the pink car of Ali Liera. 3 starts here in the SRX Series, looking for her first career victory, which would follow the first career victories of Levi McIntyre last week and Jobin Anderson in the season opener. Out of 4 for the final time. What a drive by Ali Liera. She's going to win here tonight at Knoxville. Turner second, and Cole was able to get by Norman to be the final car on the podium this evening. Ali Liera gonna head to victory lane here tonight at Knoxville. And just based on who I saw crossing the line there for the official finisher results, these points are going to be awfully close, I think. Ali Liera was running up inside the top 5, actually inside the top 3 in the early stages of stage 1, got swept up in that incident with the race leaders Batson and LaPlante, and then dropped back late at the end of stage 1. Rolled off the grid from 4th, if I recall correctly, here in the second stage, and once she got out to the lead, nobody was able to catch her. Strong machine here. They made some really good adjustments in the midway portion of this race. So Liera is going to get the victory. Jesse Turner brings it home in 2nd. 3rd place for Seth Cole. Michael Norman 4th. Carson Gum was 5th. Benjamin Miles will be 6th. Nick Gunther, good comeback run there after he had to start shotgun in the field with the backup car. He'll get 7th. Dylan Young, saw him running in 12th with about, 6-7 laps to go. He picked up quite a number of spots there in those closing laps to get 8th. Austin LaPlante dropped back to 9th. McIntyre there in 10th with Jobin Anderson behind him in 11th. So if McIntyre is the points leader, it'll be by just a slim margin over Anderson, maybe 3 points. But there's some other guys up here. Carson Gum finished up pretty well. Jesse Turner finished up well. Obviously, Liera with the victory, so Levi might not be the points leader. We'll have to see. It's going to be super close, I think, between maybe 5 drivers, maybe a good half dozen drivers heading next week, and then Keith Batson, not the performance he was looking for here tonight, as he's going to end up finishing in 12th. He had a top 5 run back in the first stage, so he at least got some stage points there, but Keith Batson, 9th in the point standings. That's a team heading into next week at Lucas Oil that they're going to be trying to bounce back, trying to do a Carson Gum-esque comeback in the second half of the season, as he did not accumulate a whole lot of points here tonight. Speaking of points, what do they look like? Well, let's show them to you. They have finally been calculated, and this is what they look like heading into next week. Next week, we're going to Lucas Oil Raceway. That racetrack had a lot of passing last year, but also was very much so a stress on track position in the second half of the race. So what type of an event are we looking at when we head there next week? We'll have to wait and see. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's race here from Knoxville, as your winner is Ali Liera. First career win for her here in the SRA SRX Series. You enjoyed this race. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe to be part of the crew today. We've shown you full finisher results. We've shown you your point standings. And we will see you guys next week at Lucas Oil Raceway. If you want to be a part of the series, head down to the link in the description below. The Back to Bristol 2022 GoFundMe. Any donation of any amount automatically locks you into this field for the remainder of the season, as well as upcoming seasons. I think this is going to be a series that will stay around for a good long time. These races are really exciting to call and really exciting to watch. And again, appreciate everybody tuning in. Until next time, I've been Seth Cole. You've been watching another broadcast courtesy of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.